Welcome. Today, we're diving into something I think many of us feel this sense of time just rushing past.
Mm.
And we want to explore how we can maybe engage with it differently, not just be swept along.
Yes, exactly. Like seeing time as this constantly flowing river, it's always moving, Annika, impermanence.
Right, impermanence.
And every single moment in that river is unique. It holds, well, potential.
Mhm.
The real question is, how are we meeting these moments?
Are we just floating? Or are we actually sort of swimming with intention? That's a powerful question.
It is, because often we're caught, aren't we? Thinking about yesterday, worrying about tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Standing on the banks, like you said, watching it all go by instead of being in it.
Uh-huh. But the energy we use thinking about the past or future, if we could just bring that energy, that focus back to now, that's where the power lies. Every breath, every conscious action right now, it's like planting a seed.
I like that, planting a seed. It makes it feel less overwhelming than trying to, I don't know, change everything at once.
Yes. We often look for those huge dramatic shifts.
We do.
But maybe the real transformation comes from something much smaller, much more consistent.
Ah.
There's an old story, you might know it, about a monk in a cave.
Yeah.
Every single morning, he just lit one small candle. The cave was dark, the flame tiny, but doing it every day, that consistent light, slowly, gradually, it pushed back the darkness. It illuminated the whole space over time.
So that small act, repeated, had this profound impact. Our candle, it could be anything really. A moment of quiet, a kind word.
Precisely, it's that sati, that mindfulness, just being fully present with whatever small act you choose, lighting that candle of awareness each day.
So it's not about some huge effort, but this gentle, persistent awareness.
Yeah.
Like right effort from the Eightfold Path. It sounds like the not heroic feats, but discipline and patience in small steps.
Exactly that. Think about writing just one paragraph, or meditating for, say, 5 minutes, or choosing kindness when it feels difficult.
They seem so small on their own.
They do, but they ripple outwards, like tossing a pebble into a pond.
So if someone's thinking about, say, the next year, their goals, instead of this massive reinvent myself pressure, it's about finding those small, consistent actions. Diving into that river of time, like you said, and just starting to swim, even if it's just a little paddle stroke each day.
Beautifully put. And connected to this, there's another idea, maybe a bit counterintuitive at first. Shunyata. Emptiness.
Emptiness, that sounds, well, empty, like nothingness.
Yes, it can sound that way, but it's not nothingness. Think of it more as spaciousness, potential, like an empty canvas before the artist begins.
Okay, so not a void, but potential for something, potential for everything.
Exactly. It's the space where anything can arise. Sometimes our minds get so cluttered, right, with fixed ideas, beliefs about how things should be.
Oh, definitely. I'm this kind of person. This always happens to me.
Those rigid ideas, they can make us feel stuck, trapped. But when we start to gently let go of some of those preconceptions, we create space. Space for new possibilities, new ways of seeing things.
Like clearing out a room to let new furniture in. Or like neuroplasticity, the brain needing space to form new connections.
That's a great modern parallel.
Yeah.
Yes, you need that openness to evolve. When we let go of how things must be, we create fertile ground.
So every thought, word, action becomes a seed planted in that open, fertile ground of potential.
Precisely. Think about Maya. You mentioned her story. She felt completely stuck, overwhelmed by life.
Right.
And she started this incredibly simple practice. Every morning, just writing down 3 things she felt grateful for.
Seems almost too simple, doesn't it? Like, how could that change anything significant?
That's what we often think. We look for the complex solution. But this tiny, consistent act of gratitude, it started to shift her focus.
From lack to abundance. Or presence, maybe.
Exactly, from what was missing to what was actually there.
Yeah.
And slowly, subtly at first, things started to change. New opportunities appeared. Her whole perspective shifted.
So it wasn't just external circumstances changing, but her inner landscape transformed first.
That's the core of it. She started approaching challenges with more curiosity, less fear. Setbacks became lessons. It's finding that middle way, that balance in the present.
So for us, planting our seed of intention, it doesn't need to be this huge, dramatic gesture. It could be journaling 1 sentence, or taking 3 conscious breaths before replying to an email.
Yes, small intentional acts, and the power of compounding. Even a tiny improvement, say 1% better each day. Think about where that leads over a year.
It's significant growth, actually.
It is, but it requires that daily effort, that gentle discipline. And crucially, faith. Not blind faith, but faith rooted in the action you're taking, trusting the process.
And self-compassion too, right? The Buddha said something about deserving our own love and affection. It's easy to be hard on ourselves if we miss a day or don't see results immediately.
Absolutely essential. Kindness towards oneself on the journey is non-negotiable. That feeling of emptiness or void when setting a goal, reframe it. It's not inadequacy, it's potential waiting.
Okay, so we have intention, small actions, consistency, self-compassion. What about the goals themselves? Sometimes we get so fixated on the outcome.
Yes. Attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean not having goals or intentions. It means holding them lightly.
Loosening the grip on the specific result.
Exactly. Flowing with life, rather than trying to force it into a rigid box. Think about it. How often does achieving a big external goal bring lasting fulfillment?
Often. Not as much as we expect. There's a brief high then. What's next?
Precisely. There's the story of Alex, the entrepreneur. Achieved incredible success, wealth, status, but felt profoundly empty inside.
I think many people can relate to that feeling even on a smaller scale.
He eventually found true satisfaction, but not through more achievement. It came through inner work meditation, connecting with compassion, presence, authenticity.
So the goals were like signposts maybe, guiding the way, but the real journey was internal.
Yes, goals are tools for guidance. But it's the inner qualities we cultivate, resilience, creativity, generosity, awareness, purpose, joy, that truly define our experience and our, worth, if you want to use that word.
It shifts the question, doesn't it? From what do I want to achieve this year to maybe who do I want to become this year?
That's a much deeper, more generative question. Who do I want to become? Patient, kind, aware.
And then aligning those small daily actions with that intention. Planting those specific seeds.
Yes, and understanding that these actions have ripples. This is the idea of karma, really.
Yep.
Simple cause and effect.
Not like cosmic punishment, but just actions have consequences. What you put out shapes your reality.
Exactly, both your external experience and, maybe more importantly, your internal state. What seeds are you planting with your habits right now? Are they seeds of stress, distraction, negativity?
Oof, that's a confronting question. Scrolling endlessly, complaining.
Or are they seeds of presence, kindness, learning, connection? The beauty is, karma isn't destiny fixed in stone. It's happening now. In this moment, you can choose which seeds to plant.
So every moment is a chance to shape what comes next.
Yes. Think of Hiroshi. He was in a sales job that felt, dishonest. It clashed deeply with his values.
That inner conflict again.
Yeah.
Must have been draining.
Terribly. But inspired by the idea of right livelihood aligning work with values, he started exploring graphic design on the side, something creative that felt meaningful.
Small steps again.
Small steps. Eventually he transitioned, started working for nonprofits. The relief, the sense of purpose, it transformed his life. But it started with acknowledging the misalignment and taking one small action.
And that choice, that alignment, likely had positive effects far beyond just his own well-being.
Absolutely. It speaks to Pratityasamutpada interdependence. We're all connected. Our mindful actions benefit not just us, but the whole web.
So practically, we can look at our daily routines. What's one habit that maybe doesn't serve us? Procrastination, negative self-talk, too much screen time. And what's one small growth-supporting practice we could gently substitute? Maybe 5 minutes of gratitude journaling instead of scrolling first thing? Or a mindful breath before reacting in anger.
Excellent practical examples. Maybe even write down, say, 3 small, specific, achievable actions you can take this week towards who you want to become. Commit to them, but without that rigid attachment to the outcome.
And remembering that self-compassion throughout. It's not about perfection.
Never about perfection. It's a practice. Some days feel easier, some harder. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend who's learning something new.
And underlying all of this is that concept we started with, Annika, impermanence.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yes. Which can feel scary, but it's also incredibly liberating, isn't it?
How so?
Well, if everything changes, then difficult times won't last forever. Struggles pass. Stagnation isn't permanent. It allows us to let go.
Ah, right. It means we're not stuck indefinitely. It allows for flow.
Precisely. May lost her job, something core to her identity. Devastating. But by slowly, painfully embracing the impermanence of that situation, she found space.
Space for what?
Space to grieve, then space to explore. She eventually found a new path teaching yoga, something deeply fulfilling she might never have discovered otherwise. Accepting change allowed her to flow with it.
Finding peace not by resisting the current, but by learning to navigate it.
And ultimately, this whole process, it's not about becoming someone entirely different, but about uncovering who we already are beneath the layers.
Like polishing a gemstone, revealing the brilliance that was always there.
Beautiful metaphor, yes. Enlightenment, Bodhi, isn't acquiring something new. It's realizing our inherent wholeness, our capability hidden under conditioning.
So the tools are already within us, like having a lamp, but needing to switch it on.
Exactly. The mind is the lamp. Mindfulness, samasati, that clear, non-judgmental awareness of thoughts, feelings, actions, that's the switch.
Just paying attention without getting caught up in judgment or stories.
Yes. A simple practice. Before starting a task, just pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Silently say to yourself, I am here. I am ready. Just grounding yourself in the present.
That brings it right back to the moment. And from that place of awareness, we can also cultivate
What?
kindness.
Loving kindness, metta, intentionally directing feelings of goodwill, warmth, benevolence first towards ourselves.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. Those kinds of phrases.
Yes. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And then gradually extending that outwards to loved ones, neutral people, difficult people, eventually all beings.
It sounds like it could really soften the heart, dissolve that sense of us and them.
It truly does. Think of Ananda, the Buddha's attendant, responding with genuine kindness to someone who is being openly hostile towards him.
That takes incredible inner strength.
It does. But metta practice builds that capacity. It showed how kindness could transform a situation, disarm aggression, and open a door for connection.
Wow. And even in loss, like with Elena's story, finding meaning after her husband died.
Yes. Again, facing impermanence, Annika, the immense pain of loss. But through that, eventually came transformation. She found purpose in service, volunteering, starting a nonprofit. Grief and growth coexisted. Embracing the reality of change allowed new meaning to bloom.
So the invitation, really, for anyone listening is, start now, wherever you are. Be the light you're seeking.
Yes, don't wait for perfect conditions. Set a small intention today. How can you bring a little more light, more presence, more compassion into your day? Use your breath as an anchor. Cultivate kindness. Embrace the flow of change.
This next year, or even just this next moment, it really is a canvas.
It is, and every mindful action, every conscious choice is a brushstroke contributing to the masterpiece of your life. You have the wisdom within you.
The power to shape our lives truly lies in how we meet this present moment, with awareness and with heart.
Indeed. Consistent, compassionate action, grounded in the now.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is just that. What is one small step, one tiny candle you can light today to illuminate your own path forward? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.